Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? What's up, good people? Out here in Southern Cal for my niece's wedding, and just wanted to come on and talk to you guys for a few about the market. Released a video late last night, and was talking about what do we think was going to happen with the release of Trump being indicted by the grand jury. And some people, left their remarks, of course, some political. But remember, good people, we only talk about things as they pertain to our money, right? And some of you guys were dead on. I says, how do you think it's going to affect the stock market? Or do you see any opportunity for us to make money? So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about PCE. Well, I'm going to play the video. The PCE numbers were very good. I'm going to play the video back up in the room and during this video. I'm sorry. Hey, for those of you that don't know, my name is Stocker with Larry Jones, and I want you to hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. Hey, I'm not in my normal digs, but I just keep it going for the family. All right. It's a lot of sun out here, so I'm gonna put my glasses back on. So let's talk about what is going on and where do we see some deals at. I'm sorry, good people. I know y'all think I try to be cool all the time. I do try a little bit. So DWAC, remember, Truth Social. And what is DWAC? That is Donald Trump's social media page, right? So some of you guys are left a comment talking about DWAC. And you were right, because DWAC went up. So I'm going to show you a picture of it while I'm talking. Look at DWAC, right, which is Truth Social. That's the ticker symbol. But also, let's look at the warrants. For those of you that know me, you know that I like looking at the warrants. As you can see, the warrants are up 3 times as much as the stock. So you would have made more money on the warrants than the stock. What I'm going to do, because it's complicated, but it's simple. The simplicity of it is just buy the warrants and just sell the warrants. Don't exercise them. Now, I'm going to make, I'm going to talk more about it in the class. For those of you that have the class, I'm going to do a big breakdown on what are warrants in the next couple of weeks and how to make money on it, because you just can't explain it in a few minutes. But simply just buy them for right now. Just buy them and sell them. It's just that simple. Buy them just like stock and sell them. If you buy 10 shares of DWAC stock, buy 20 shares of the warrants. That's how I make money with warrants. And those of you that's been following me for a while, you know I made a lot of money with warrants in 2020, 2021, and 2022. All right. Warrants are a sleeping giant that a lot of people don't talk about, but there's money to be made, right? You just need a broker that allows you to buy and sell warrants. Okay. So let's just keep that in mind, that there's always a bull market somewhere. So right now, I am going to play the video about PCE, and we'll go from there, right?
After a string of disappointments, investors finally got a little relief on the inflation front, with the Fed's preferred inflation indicator coming in 1/10 below expectations. But it may not be enough to stay the Fed's rate hiking hand. Here are the numbers. Headline up 0.3, and that's half the rate of January, so that was good. The year-over-year rate coming down 0.3 to 5%. The January core 0.3, 1/10 better than expectations, lower than the January rate. And there's the core 4.6, ticking down just a little bit to 4.7. Now, income and spending, they did come off the blockbuster rates of January, but they sustained a high level, so that's going to be good for GDP. Oxford Economics, unfortunately, doesn't think it's going to last. They said, we think consumers will soon run out of runway as income growth softens, savings buffers fall, credit card usage lines decline, and inflation stays high. The trouble for the Fed here is that the core is falling only slowly, down less than a percentage point in a year. And the measure watched closely by the Fed chair, that core services ex housing, it was actually unchanged this month at 4.6%. So what happens here? The economy is still growing. Inflation's still high. You got the banking turmoil seemingly quiet for now. So the market leans slightly towards that May rate hike with the probabilities 45, 55 for that quarter point hike. But it does swing back and forth almost every day. So the banking turmoil, it continues to be the wild card here. Even if there aren't major failures, and that's what we hope happens here, tightening in credit standards will still threaten the economy, bringing down inflation, but also growth and maybe replacing rate hikes for what I think, Dom, that'd be a lousy trade-off.
Okay, so Steve, if you look at this on balance, this is not enough perhaps to change the Fed's mind whatsoever, but is there enough of this in terms of the inflation narrative cooling off for folks to be a little bit more optimistic on what things look like in the economy going forward? I mean, the Fed rate hikes are supposed to be tapping the brakes on the economy. Has the economy slowed down or cooled off enough to make people feel a little bit more optimistic about the coming months for markets and the economy?
Well, here's the problem with all this, Dom. Is I keep describing this a bit like it's a wrestling match, and we're trying to pin down inflation. We keep counting 1, 2, and then the thing gets back up. And that's the way it's been. We keep thinking we're making progress, and the January thing was a real, game changer in the sense that not only were the numbers worse than expected, but they'd gone back and they revised up the prior numbers. So the inflation progress we thought we were making was kind of revised away with a couple, swirls of the pen right there. So, yes, it's 1 month, but as you know, 1 month does not a trend make. We did have the consumer slow down this month after blockbuster numbers last month. So all I can tell you is we have to wait and see and put a couple good months together. Remember, Powell has said he wants to have, substantial evidence that things are going the right way before he changes his tack.
So there we have it, good people. There we have it, the PCE numbers. So it shows that inflation is, in fact, coming down. But just like Steve Leisman talked about, it just keeps coming back up. We knock it down, it keeps coming back up. I talk about the monster that just keeps coming. We kill it, it just keeps coming back. If inflation comes back after everything that the Fed has thrown after it, it's not going to be good. And so until then, we can't just be full on green light. Let me rephrase that. Until then, I can't. You do what's best for you. If you think that we are in a bull market and everything is behind us, then you do what you do. Or the stock class, Stock Up U, is growing. I am going to do a section on there on warrants so I can help everybody make money, but it's just so lengthy that it just takes time to really dive to understand what warrants are. But it's just simple, like I said previously. Just buy and sell the warrants right now, just like regular stocks, okay? So we're learning a lot over there. And then today is the last day for the 17 free stocks with Moo, so make sure you fund it today. Take advantage of it today. If you downloaded it and have not funded it, then you won't get the free stock, all right? So let's get back into the PCE numbers. Steve Leisman is right. Inflation keeps rearing its ugly head up, though it's showing now that it's cooling off. Now, cooling off is different than being high. Inflation is still high, but it is cooling off. Then when we think it's on the downtrend, it keeps rearing its head back up a little bit, then it goes down a little further. We need it to go down and stay down, right? And so that's what we're going to keep our eye on. Until then, we're not out of the woods with a deeper recession. I'm one of the ones that believe that we are I believe that we are in a what's called a rolling recession. That means that certain parts of the industry or certain parts of the market, certain parts of the economy is yet in a recession. Though in the stock market, there are certain sectors that is actually in a bull run. I showed you guys that with chips. I showed you guys that with semiconductors on earlier videos, okay? So we're going to trade the market that we're in day by day, week by week. We're going to continue to make money, regardless if the market is going up or if the market is going down. I'd like to say thank you to everybody that left their comments on yesterday's video. I would just say most of them were just respectful because we're waking up, good family. We know that these politicians are playing us against each other, but now you and I get to make money now, not just the big kahunas. You and I get to make money. I'm going to say this again, and somebody took it as an insult. It's not an insult. It's just true. If you want to be poor, do what poor people do, or continue to do what poor people do. If you want to be rich, do what rich people do. So who should you be listening to right now? Okay? Listen to successful people on how to get successful. I follow big money. That's it. And that is one of the keys to my success in trading. I follow the big money. I follow the smart money. I don't always do what they do. And sometimes they'll put out FUD and tell us to do one thing. And because a lot of these big corporations own the media that puts out these hit jobs and force the price down so they can get in. But you and I are smarter than that. We're not falling for the okie doke. Okay, good people? So remember, inflation is coming down, cooling off. There is money to be made even after, off of the Donald Trump indictment. But we are going to continue to stay focused on our money. No political comments today. Okay, good people? Hey, I'm here for a wedding, like I said, but I'm going to keep you guys informed. Live, love, laugh, and learn. If you are new to the page, hit the subscribe button, like button, and the notification bell. And if you've been rolling with me, you guys know what to do. Sponsor this by hitting that like button and check out the links below. Peace.